Welcome to Get Mad. I'm Mad Hildebrandt, and on this episode, we are joined by Brian Abrahamson. Brian is an independent running for Minnesota State House in District 22A. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm looking at some of your stuff that you've got out, and you call yourself an unapologetic, independent-minded progressive. And I'd like you to just tell everybody what you mean by that, and then talk a little bit about your district.
Sure. Basically, I have a lot of progressive ideas, and not a lot of people in this area, unfortunately, go along with those kinds of ideas. But what I do is I kind of just, kind of spin it, and I don't apologize for thinking the way I do. I just stick to my guns and just fight for the people, I guess.
Yeah, that really makes sense. Putting people first, not over business.
Right.
Absolutely. So can you tell us kind of give the parameters or the makeup of your district so that people understand, even people in your own district understand what it is comprised of?
Yeah, I mean, we have a good number of farmers. A lot of it's agriculture and stuff like that. And I'm proud to stand up for those for the farmers and stuff like that. They need our help in this state representatives as well. So I mean, they feed our not only the country, but they also feed us as well. So we have to stand up for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you a farmer yourself?
I am not. No, I've lived in farming communities since I was 13, though. So you're hiding that. Yeah.
Right. So you're part of the community. You may not be a farmer yourself, but you're part of that community. Yeah, absolutely.
I go to farm fest every year and stuff like that, and I talk to farmers, talk to people that go to those things, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love, the farmers are great here. So
right, awesome. That's really great. So so you're part of that community. So one of the things that while I'm looking at some of the things that you've talked about in the past and looking at your district and thinking that it is farming, and farming is heavily reliant on water, and I'm seeing that you guys are experiencing some sulfide mining or some talk about it on the border areas, and that this is something that would really impact you, especially because of of water. So can you talk to me about these kind of environmental issues in your district?
Absolutely. I mean, they're talking about doing sulfide mining in the boundary waters further up north, like in Duluth. Basically, I mean, if you add water to sulfide, it's going to create sulfuric acid, which is going to get into your eyes. It's going to get into your throat. It's going to get on your skin. It's going to irritate those things, and we can't have that. I mean, we're the land of 10,000 lakes. We can't have that kind of stuff endangering our water, especially our boundary waters. People that go out there and fish and swim and stuff like that. We need that tourism in this area. So I mean, it's just ridiculous to have that kind of mining going on. It's so dangerous.
Right. Yeah. That really, it's something that just doesn't seem to make any sense, that, that's something that it might be there in the ground, but some of these ideas that people are doing these days of, go get it no matter where it is, when you're not taking it into account where it is, that, like you're saying, this could ruin your the water. It would ruin your, tourism. I mean, so many things that you already rely on in your state.
Yeah.
So thinking about those things, because I mean, clearly they're talking about, they're going to be saying, oh, well, this is going to bring us some jobs. I mean, that's a clear one. That's going to be what they're going to be on the other side is going to be talking about. But tell me your jobs plan and for your economy in your district and in your state.
Well, in the state, we need a new Green Deal. Basically, we need wind energy and we need solar energy, And those are going to bring more jobs than anything like the sulfide mining or the Line 3, the pipelines that they're also suggesting at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we need things that are going to protect our environment, because like I said, we are the land of 10,000 lakes. We need to protect our environment. We need to protect our waters. And it's not going to bring as many jobs as they really think. And it's not going to be constant. I mean, we're going to have more constant jobs with wind and solar energy.
Right. Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense, because wind and solar being renewable energies, and that they aren't going to be affecting negatively those things that we're talking about, your environment there. And because I know that Minnesota is one of those locations that it is a destination location for anybody who likes to go out and fish or, camping. I mean, I know lots of people go out there, and the idea to destroy that.
Yeah, especially in Duluth. That's one of the biggest areas for tourism is Duluth.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. Yeah. I've been there a few times, and it's just ridiculous to even think that they would do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk also, I'm looking at some of your stuff, and you are an advocate for legalizing cannabis. So talk to me about your plan with that.
Sure. I mean, we need to tax it, we need to regulate it, and it's going to create jobs as well. I mean, we're going to have farmers that are going to be able to grow not only cannabis but also hemp, because the big thing is that it's almost like cannabis. It's not quite, but we don't want to, just a whole bunch of just excuses basically. Hemp is another thing that we could grow and stuff like that to kind of offset the environment as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And when we look at some of the things that you see, the products that are being made via hemp, and to think that, not only are you being told you can't be growing cannabis, but you can't be growing hemp is like, and there are states that are doing that are doing both, and you can find the products, and why would your state want to be left behind from this? It kind of is a senseless.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, 50s thinking that cannabis is the gateway drug, and it's going to lead to other things and stuff like that, and golly gee, and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's a hard fight. Even our Democratic governor right now currently said that he wouldn't approve it, even if it was put on his desk today. So I mean, it's very sad that we have a lot of obstacles to get through, but I think eventually we can get there.
Right, absolutely, and that seems like that would be when you're talking about adding jobs and adding the possibility of farmers looking at something, a new product, when we know that's a lot of the issues that we're having with corn or soy or various items like this that are affected by international treaties. And in this case, at least early on in the development of this, it wouldn't be. It would be outside of that.
Yeah, our soybeans are getting hit pretty badly. I mean, our farmers are they're gonna get like a bailout, but that's not what they want. They want to continue their lives. A lot of them, there's some farmers out there that are almost, they're just getting out of the business because of it, because they can't go through with that right now. So
all of that really makes sense, and thinking about the things that farmers need is really an important thing, and it's something that a lot of people have let go to the wayside, is this idea that farmers need to be listened to, and especially when you're in a district that is heavily agricultural. So let's turn in. I'm looking at your story about your grandpa, and tell me about your veteran policy, or just how you feel about the position of veterans in your community?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of veterans actually in this community, and I tip my hat to them. They, God bless them. I believe that we should take care of our veterans any way we can. We need to have it like a better transition for our veterans that come back, and so we can have jobs for them, so we can have housing and stuff like that that's readily available. So I definitely want to help in that if I get elected, and I'll definitely fight for that.
Yeah, and that's an important thing, is to begin having a dialogue with veterans. But tell me about your just very quickly here. Just tell me about your grandpa in World War II.
I'll try not to cry. He's no longer with us, but he was a tail gunner in World War II. He was very highly decorated and stuff like that. He had a lot of citations from a lot of our allies. I'd seen one that was from the French, and I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, the stories I've heard. I mean, after he passed away, I heard that I don't know why I wasn't told this before, but he had a lot of PTSD and stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of memories and a lot of this and that, and a lot of dark things. I mean, all the visions of the aircrafts that he shot down and stuff like that this is kind of heartbreaking,
Yeah, and I've read you talk about just him as being one of the influences for you for running for office, and I find that to be really commendable.
And he was on the city council,
Mm-hmm.
and he stood up for the people whenever anybody
Right.
needed anything. No matter what news network he watched, he still stood up for the people, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, just to continue that, bring it forward. So that is, I really appreciate that. So we're close to the end. So I would like you to, at this moment, take a few minutes or a few moments and just speak directly to your constituents, and also provide your website and where they can donate.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I am a progressive. That means I care about you. I mean, it means I care about the people. I'm going to stand up for the people to make sure that we get the health care that we need, that we get the tuition-free education that your children and my children deserve. Basically, we don't need to have this legacy of almost going into bankruptcy because of tuition costs and stuff like that. I mean, we need to definitely work on our roads and our bridges. Two things that our Republican incumbent has promised to work on, but has not followed through. I mean, we need somebody that's gonna actually stand up for the people. We have roads and bridges plans that haven't been appropriated for almost 50 years. So we have to definitely have to fight for this. I mean, we definitely, if using any kind of words, we need a political revolution here. So I will definitely stand up for the people and get things done.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to www.brianabrahamsonforhouse.com, that's the website if you want to donate, if you want to see more about my platform, if you want to see anything that I post a lot of stuff on Facebook, on Twitter. My Facebook and Twitter page is on there. So yeah, I mean, we can do this. We can get stuff done. We just need a progressive to do it.
Well, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing your ideas with us. We really appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank all of you